All right, we are back. It looks like squad 308 only has one stage to go. Wow, they are moving friggin' fast. So we'll see what we're going to do here, because 308 only has stage 1 left. Let me see what stage 308 has. I mean 304 has left. Oh, looks like they are done. No. Okay, now I'm confused here. What is going on here? 15138. Okay. So they have 8, 9, and 10 still to go. All right. So it looks like, let me get rid of that. We're PCC. Looks like Corey has not had a good start to his morning. No, he has not. 11 and 12, he gave up a lot of points. He was basically at 73% on 11 and 70% on 12. So he had 2 deltas and 2 mics on 12. Ouch. So let's check something here. Let's go to stage 12. Come on. PCC 12. So it was him and Mark Schulte seemed to be battling it out when they first started this morning. But Mark picked up 23 points on stage 12 and $32 on stage 11. Wow, that's like 55 points. So now I don't even know that Corey's in the discussion unless something happens and, Mark Schulte or Anthony Zabonic do something crazy and lose their position, because Ike is done. Ike Starnes is complete. He has 1,413 points at the moment. The maximum available for Mark Schulte is 1,438. Maximum available for Anthony Zabonic is 1,432. So, assuming it plays out that way, I mean, you're looking at 1, 2, and 3 being Mark Schulte, Anthony Zabonic, and Ike Starnes. Corey Messersmith was in the lead going into today, but 11 and 12 just ate his lunch. So not doing well. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if he had maybe some malfunctions or something going on. Uh, it didn't look like the weather was nearly as bad today as it was yesterday, so I'm not really sure there. Sorry, I just was checking something that I got from Jay. So let me go back to that. All right. But that's what your PCC looks like. Let's check everybody. Let's go to Carry Optics. Benjamin Essex, A class, and Harrison Marcotte, A class, both at the top of the heap right now. Um, and Benjamin is complete. So he has 1,385 points. Harrison Marcotte is still shooting. This says high available of 1,380. And David Miller, high available 1,375, along with Peter Woolard, 1,375. So Skylar Davis is down in sixth, Drew Maruski in seventh. So, but some of this can change too, where let's say Drew and Skylar end up with a high overall on a stage. It's going to change the points and could potentially change standings. So sounds like Jay is connected. Let me put in my earbuds here. All right, there we go. Now we won't get an echo. So that is Carry Optics. Let's look at Limited. I think we're exactly where we expected. It's a runaway for Joey. But Taylor Chen from Hillsdale College is in second, and it looks like that's going to hold up. Clara Bose is also from Hillsdale College. She's in fifth. Kayla Mullen from Hillsdale College, she's in sixth. So it looks like you only have two people still shooting. So it'll be interesting to see where they end up at. But Joey easily takes that. And it looks like Tanner Donchis is your 2025 Buckeye Blast Limited Optics winner after winning Delmarva. So he's on a roll this year. Isaac McLaren is going to be second by a long shot, just like Tanner was first by a long shot. So few people still shooting. So a couple of things could change. Rob Epifania is still out there. Um, so hopefully he'll do well. Where is over here? Here we go. No, that's not what I want. There we go. Trying to figure out what squad Rob is on at the moment. Not seeing him. Where is he at? I am missing Rob's name here. Not on that squad. Not there. Nope. Interesting. Nope, don't see him there. So I wonder if Rob bailed because his shooting's not complete, but he was shooting Friday PM, Saturday AM. Jay, can you hear me? Okay, apparently that's a no. So it doesn't look like Rob shot Saturday morning at all. So I'm thinking maybe he bailed. Okay. Let's go to open. As we expected, John Vlieger wins it. Cruised to first place. Still have a couple of people shooting, and interestingly enough, between fourth and fifth, you have Patches Reeder and Chris Gelnett. It also says Josh Dawson, who's currently in third, is still shooting, and the maximum available points for Josh is 1372, and Patches is 1369. So we're talking 3 points. So that could definitely change. And the difference between Chris Gelnett in fifth and Ron Kiesel in sixth for max available is only 12 points. So that could flop too, especially if, someone has a catastrophic failure. Production, one person still shooting. Looks like they're going to handily win the match. In production, that's Ethan Kaiser. Kenneth Krill is in second. Eric Anderson is third. All right. Revolver. Well, your 2025 Ohio State Buckeye Blast Revolver champion is none other than Practical Shooting Live's own Jay Slater. Single stack, you had five, well, looks like four competitors. Mike Hogue, looks like he maybe completed one stage. Not sure what happened there, but Brad Crum is your 2025 Ohio State Buckeye Blast single stack champ. He's A class, shooting major. Scott Chapman is second, A class, shooting minor. So combined overall right now, it's going to be John Vlieger. He's going to be the overall Ohio State Buckeye Blast champ. You hear me there, Jay? I do.
The the very basics of audio routing down.
It took 2 days and a monsoon, but we got it.
Yeah, to be fair, I think we would have been done earlier had we had some of Saturday to work on this. I feel like it was the rain out
Yeah,
on Saturday made this a much more challenging prospect, I think.
100%.
Whew.
So you're
Let's
down at
see.
stage one?
I am. I don't see Squad 308 has not yet shown up, but I don't mind having a minute to catch my breath.
Okay, so they should be stage 6. Let me squad 308. Wow. Well, yeah, they just started. My my apologies. They just started 6, I guess. There's only one score now for 6. When I looked
Mm.
up earlier, it looked like they were already done with 6. They're going to be quick though.
Well, listen. Yeah, we'll hang out here for the 20 minutes or so that it's going to take, I think. I see we've got a squad. Actually, that's a squad that's going to be good to get right next door on stage 2. I see
Okay.
some Ohio and Western Pennsylvania names who will follow them until Squad 308 gets down here. So
That
give me a
sounds
moment.
good.
I'm going to pop over there uh, and pick up the squad list off of the ROs, and yeah, we'll talk about them from memory as best I can, since I know a couple of them personally.
And this is what you have to deal with in a match flow setting because like yesterday or Friday they were ahead of schedule. Saturday they're behind schedule because of the weather. You had people leaving because the weather was so bad. So today you have partial squad, so some are moving much faster than others. So for us trying to logistically coordinate all of that makes it a little bit more of a challenge. Like I was going to look at the diagram for who should be on what stage when in the match book, but I don't even know if it's accurate anymore.
So that
Let's
actually wasn't the squad I thought it was, but we can follow them anyway.
Okay. Is that 310 or 311?
It's got Micah Barcello, Bud Humelstein, Bill Sievers, and Victor Abon as the the 4 remaining shooters.
Wow, that's crazy that that's all that's left. Did you say Weaver?
No. Let's see. Victor Abon, Micah Barcello,
Okay.
Bud Humelstein, and Bill Sievers is I think that's closest to Weaver.
That squad 309, they're not supposed to be there until 11 o'clock.
Well, I guess one of
Wow.
those when when the traffic at the match is so light, I suppose it's a quick one.
Yeah, I mean Eddie Garcia was supposed to be on that squad.
I think was he. So I've got a bunch in the. There are a couple of people marked DNF in the tablet now. It might have been people who shot yesterday and perhaps didn't show up today.
Well, I noticed Rob Epifania shot on Friday, but did not shoot at all yesterday.
One of many.
Yeah.
I uh, heard from one guy I know. He showed up. He shot, I believe, on Friday, and then skipped out on Saturday. Kind of said, I mean, he didn't really see the point, I suppose, of coming in and shooting like a D class performance when that's not the shooter he is. It's just the shooter that the weather turns him into. Especially since some of us there were, I think, substantial differences in how easy the various schedules were to shoot in terms of the weather.
Okay.
Yep. Actually, I see Squad 308 rolling up right now. So that was much
Excellent.
quicker than expected. Yeah.
And they're on stage 1, so let me update my screen. There we go. Boom. Thank you, Mr. Powers, for watching.
So the battery I've got in the drone's only at 71%. So I think I'm going to swap that out real quick while we've got a moment while they're getting set and starting to walk through.
Okay.
I figure a single good battery ought to take us all the way through that squad. So
Yeah, it'll be quick.
permanently in the air, in the eye in the sky for the entire time.
So the updated results for open: John Vlieger, comfortable win. Colin Maxon, comfortable second. And then
Good on them.
Patches Reader is third. Josh Dawson fourth. Chris Gelnet fifth at the moment. And it looks like there's enough separation that Patches is probably going to hold on to third. Josh has an outside chance. He's about 19 points behind. So he's either going to need to do
So
some
that's
really good shooting.
a really excellent performance from Josh Dawson. A bummer we didn't really get to see very much of him this weekend. I think so he has been a Carry Optics competitor for a long time in the Pittsburgh area, and clearly is enjoying the open lifestyle more than Carry Optics. He was always, don't get me wrong, very good in Carry Optics, but he wasn't in the realm of competing with guys like Patches and Chris Gelnet. So nice to see him kind of coming into his own in the fast gun division.
Yeah.
Darn, it's looking like I'm just barely. But it may still flip back and forth, but I don't think I'm quite going to hang on to second place iron sights. It looks like Ethan Kaiser in production might beat me across the line to split me and Joey on the podium.
Okay. Is it wrong for me to hope for a malfunction?
I don't know. I wish him the best. If we were competing directly, I might appreciate that a little bit more. But
Right. Yeah.
yeah, the very artificial limited 10 production single stack revolver iron sight division. That's I think primarily for very light bragging rights. So let's see if I can. Yeah, I
Tanner
have these handy dandy
Donjas.
3D printed. Oh, go on. So yeah,
I was just gonna say he looks like he's gonna finish third overall.
yeah. So with Wampler and Grasby backing out, of course, his limited optics path to victory got a whole lot easier. But at the same time, I think that's still a great way for him to to follow up his Delmarva victory, and
Yeah.
with another level 2 where he takes the title
Yep. Starting his 2025 off strong.
in a good way for sure. Yeah, this match I think turned into a survival match in a lot of ways. You know how good are you at standing up to the rain? And Tanner was there like, kind of gamely at the end of the morning yesterday. Not maybe not happy to be there, but still still laughing and joking with his squad mates and his buddies there on 10 whichever he was 107 I think. And yeah, so like I said, staying in the game, especially to match where where the weather was this wet on Saturday, is a very important part to getting the results you want. And I mean, I assume he came in wanting to win. That seems like a pretty safe guess.
Yeah. I'm trying to look up the scores because it looks like Mark Schulte and Anthony Zabonic keep going back and forth.
Well, that's excellent. We're going to end up down there in a little while. I did discover that if I were to put my little slightly wobbly selfie stick tripod up to its maximum extension, I can get signal from the far bays back to Red Feather without having my Red Feather set up outdoors, which is pretty wild and also potentially useful in the future. But I don't think that that wobbly tripod is quite sturdy enough to risk setting up on top of my car to get the height that I need to have a clear line of sight.
Okay. We need to get Mark
Yeah,
Schulte to just hold it up there for you.
that's a good point. Mark, you're not
Yeah.
shooting. Come over here and just
Right. Here, be a radio
it's,
tower.
it's Bigfoot Media.
Sasquatch Radio.
I think we've got Drew Maruski lining up to make ready, so I'm going to
Oh,
get up on. Should have video shortly or now.
yep, I see it.
So I'm trying a slightly different approach to the camera real quick, so I'm going to go there. Doing some slightly more manual settings to see if that makes the HDMI load a little bit easier on the controller. And there's Drew Maruski, ready to go.
Stage 1.
It looks like Drew found that same maneuver in the back shooting area there that Leaguer did, kind of
Yes.
taking the one target on entry and shooting the rest from one spot, which obviously preferable if you can make it happen.
Yep. He shot very smooth through that whole stage.
I would agree. See if I can tidy up the focus a bit on the camera here. There we go. I think that's better. So there
Wow.
is apparently on this version of the DJI controller app a clean feed option. So I'm rather than having it process the camera view separately, I'm just you're now seeing exactly what I'm seeing, kind of just the stage on screen and yeah, occasional little bits of UI as it does stuff.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go.
And this stage I feel like is much easier to parse now that, well, I guess now that it's not cloudy and wet. Or actually, it's
Right.
still cloudy. Now that it's not as damp as it's been. This view you get a good look at on the right side downrange there. You got that opening array of 6, that paper target tucked in behind the wall, that little corner wall there. But It also looks like we have a competitor coming up. That's Patch's Reader. So we'll watch Patches here now make ready, and he'll be off to the races momentarily.
Drew 7th overall on that stage. He did a really good job. 26 Alpha, 5 Charlie, 22:28 was his time.
So it looks like
What?
Patches forgot something there. I see a magazine or two now coming
Oh
coming
goodness.
off of his coming out of his shooting bag.
Who needs ammo? Come on. We don't need no stinking ammo. Patches Reader, stage 1.
Patches they're doing very much the same thing that Drew did in Vlieger earlier, kind of finding that spot in the kind of back center left of that second shooting area from which you can see, let's see, I guess 10 of the 12 shots you need from that box.
Right.
Something I saw on that, you saw he came onto the popper in the middle of the stage very quickly, and then stayed on it for a second after he shot. I think he surprised himself by getting that hit the first time.
Okay. I think
Was
we're
of
going
course
to
a
have
very
Gelnet
sporty
next.
transition for where you're coming off of like a big wide thing, probably with a little bit of a step too to get facing in the right direction.
Okay. I think we have Chris coming up next.
I've got that list somewhere, but let's see if I can
I think
pull it
it's
up.
Reader, then Gelnet, Heizenrader, Kiesel, Labriola.
I believe you are correct. Yes, on this extremely extremely light squad.
Yeah. So Patches had a good run. He's third overall on the stage.
Yeah. So I think, I guess we've got Gelnet now about to, yeah. Yes, Chris Gelnet now about to make ready. And you are correct. I think we might be seeing to some extent the impact of the better weather today, but the other lesson I think I'm
Yeah.
taking out of this is that the stage plan, whether you go up first to take that crossing shot at the beginning, or go to the corner first and take the crossing shot on the right on your way up the alley in the first shooting area, doesn't seem to make a huge difference as far as outcomes go.
Agree. What's Chris doing? Drying something?
Yeah, he's wiping off his dot, I believe. Which it hasn't really been.
Okay.
It drizzled very briefly earlier, but it hasn't been rainy enough even to ground a drone today. So
Nice. The actual shooting areas, looking at stage 1 and 2, they look good.
yeah, it's one of the things. Looks like Galnet's about ready to go, so we'll let him have his run.
Yeah. Oof.
I'd have to see what the maybe play with the what if some there, but I don't know that it was worth it going back for that for that makeup.
Is that there's no penalty on that target, right? It's just an open
It is
target.
it's two open targets there on the right. Yeah, Actually,
Okay.
if we scoot around, we can probably take a look at that.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, 2 open upside down targets there.
Okay, that's why it looks kind of weird. I couldn't quite figure out what the deal was. Upside down makes more sense now. Okay. Yeah, he was probably what, about a good 8, maybe 10 feet out when he went back.
Yeah, it's probably about that much. At least figure probably a 3 or 4 second swing in total. Noticing, going back, shooting, leaving again. It's got to be a fairly low hit factor stage to make that worthwhile. And this one probably isn't in open.
So Dan should be up next.
Yep, looks like he is in the shooting area making ready. Uh, or at least on his final walkthrough. And I think probably Kiesel behind him. Is that right?
Yes. And then Labriola, and
Yep.
then they're done. So Chris did not have as good a run. Slower than the other two with 21 alphas and 10 Charlies. He's 14th overall on
Yeah,
this stage.
unsurprising with the step in and out there.
Right.
Well, we got Dan Heistenritter making ready. Uh, about to take his run for his last stage of the day. Looks like
All
that
right.
lean out plan was discovered by and also shared by people on this squad.
Yeah, they all seem to be running the same thing, so they probably talked about it.
Well, a bunch of guys in D2 jerseys, people who know each other, shoot with each other a lot.
Yeah.
It's one of those classic gentlemanly moves here in our corner of the sporting world.
See if the scores have updated yet. Nope, not quite yet.
It looks like Ron is on his final walkthrough, looking at the same plan as we've seen on this squad so far. So that's coming straight to the back right, taking the right crosser on the way, coming in on the outside left target as you get to that middle position by the Excalibur banner, and finally 2 position stop in that back box.
And for those people that don't know, this is the gentleman that brought you the sliding targets at Area 8 last year.
What was that?
I was saying Ron's the one who brought everybody,
Ah,
these
yes,
sliding targets at Area 8.
the mad genius under the name Sigma Artworks, who produces all of the most unusual stuff at Greater Pittsburgh. Ron Kiesel lining up. One last run through in his head. And here he goes.
Can still see the flash.
Yep. On a cloudy day like today, super bright. It's very what's the word? Very visible. Even on sunny days when I've shot with him, you can occasionally catch a glimpse of it. But in these conditions, for sure, it's just a little pop of light as he's going through the stage. So I think I'm not totally sure. I was looking down at the screen rather than up at the stage, but I think on that double stack uprange on the left, I'm pretty sure he went to the no shoot partial first, and then transitioned down to the open. So he had like an easier exit target as he got moving, and then could swing around to the right. Which clever move. I'm pretty sure I shot that bottom to top because I was doing it mostly flat-footed anyway, and that's a slightly easier transition since the gun's not in the way. But on the move, I
Right.
think I like his approach better.
We're coming down to the last shooter of the day for this squad. Man, they're going to be done before 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it looks like they are like you were saying the final man on the final stage for 308. I guess when you've got a 6-man squad and everyone's taping, it's easy to make that happen.
Yeah. Especially, at the end of this stage, people are they're not having to reload. They can just start
Yep.
taking stuff off so they're not spending as much time in the back.
All right, we got Anthony Labriola just about ready to go.
And with that, squad 308 is complete.
Yeah, squad complete. Like you're saying, before 11 o'clock. So
Yeah.
that's 6 stages in about 2 hours and 40 minutes, since they didn't start quite exactly at 8 either.
That's
So
crazy
that's
fast.
quite a pace.
Yeah, that's fast as all get out.
Yeah, so about 160 minutes divided by 6. That's some pace. That's like 25 minutes a squad, basically, 25 minutes a stage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's it. So how do the finishes look as we now I guess now have final scores for all the open heavy hitters? Well, I
Okay.
guess all the open heavy hitters stands Josh Dawson, who I think is probably still shooting a stage or two down.
Right. Let me let me just hit refresh and go to open. So, yeah. So Josh Dawson is still shooting, but he's got a comfortable lead right now over Chris Gelnett. So unless something catastrophic happens, it's going to be Vlieger, Maxon, Reeder, Dawson, Gelnett. Those are your top five.
Yeah, I'm sure Josh has to be feeling good about that performance. I'm not sure if this is his first major and opener if he shot Delmarva as well, but still, to put a couple of percent on Gelnett, who's no slouch.
No.
for Josh in very early in his first season, his first complete season as an open competitor. That's some excellent work on his part.
Yeah, he's definitely had a great match. Ron's going to end up in ninth, and Manny will end up in 10th.
Well, good on Manny making the top 10. Stats, even on staff day, stats is an extremely busy job. So good for him to fight through that distraction and put in a top 10 performance here at a match that honestly an open is relatively like pretty crowded with good people at the top.
So I am going to
I will say,
check carry optics real quick. Oh,
that's
Drew
a
has been
race.
shooting. Yeah. Harrison Marcotte still shooting, has a chance to catch up to Benjamin Essex. But if you look down at Skylar Davis and Drew Maruski, they're also, Drew is done. And technically he's leading Skylar, but Skylar's high available could pull it out, but he's going to have to. No, actually, no. Why is it like that? It looks like Drew is going to move up to fifth. Skylar's probably going to drop down to sixth.
Oh,
What does he have left? 2, 1, 2. Oh, he has six. Stage 6 is what he has. Is the only stage he has left to shoot.
well, I need to get on the road back down to zone 2, so maybe I can catch Skylar on 6 if he's not done yet.
Let
All right, well, I'm going
me.
to sign off. I will. My intentions to get down and take a look at the PCC squad 304 as they wrap up their day. I will do my best to catch some interesting to get some interesting footage of other folks we might want to see based on where they are in the match. So yeah, I will catch you in some form or another very soon.
Okay. Let me go back to there. There we go. All right. All right. So we're still waiting for some stuff to happen. We're waiting to some other squads to keep shooting. So I'm going to put us on a break for the moment. I'm not going to end the broadcast. I'm just going to put it in a break at the moment. So we'll be back shortly. All right. So Jay uploaded another video, this of Ryan Walden shooting stage 5, which we have not had any footage of stage 5 thus far. So, and it looks like he's uploading another one from something. While we're waiting for him, he's at stage 6 waiting for Skylar Davis to go. He's shooting first. We will show this video with Ryan Walden on stage 5. Now, the water on this stage is primarily from yesterday, and there are still some puddles. So let me change what I'm sharing here. All right, let's watch Ryan Walden real quick here.
Are you ready? Oh, you stand by.
Guess that's quite the balancing act there. But if you noticed, there are 3 different triangular shooting areas. I'm not sure. I don't know if maybe this was going to be the starting position or what. And then they moved it to the far shooting box. I don't know. I'm not sure why that wood triangle is right here. No idea. I'll have to ask Jay. Maybe he knows. But that is so let's watch him. Let's do what we did yesterday. Now let's watch it in slow mo.
Are you ready? Oh, you stand by.
It's got to duck down and hit that steel right at the beginning. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there is a camera right here as well. So he's shooting between the walls here at a target right behind the Cardinal banner. And then the precarious balancing act. Not too hard there. This is the problem one. I couldn't see an impact. But he got it that time. And there you go. Ryan Walden, stage 5. All right, so let's remove that. We'll go back to Practice Score Competitor app. There we go. All right. Let's just go to combined and we'll do the spinny. So Patch's reader is up in 4th place. That's where he ended up at. Looks like Anthony Zabonik is going to pull out the PCC win. Oh, let's go check that out. That's been a race. That's been back and forth. But he has right now potentially a 28-point lead. Oh. Yes, both.
Great. So I pulled up to stage 10, squad 304 arrived here as I did, so timing's there. As you can see, I'm actually holding up the video transmission system high enough to see over the berm across the way. So I started briefly to say, well, I guess, hello, and yeah, not think of it as sustainable for doing drone footage, but I thought I would pop in and say, yeah, we caught Skylar Davis just now on 5 stage 10. We haven't seen yet. That's the one with the 2 doors, which I think make an interesting choice, especially for the PCC guys, since they've got a lot more muzzle length to deal with on the way. I think it's also going to look pretty good on the camera on a stick. So, in the interests of not missing anyone, I'm going to keep this brief and kind of say back to you in the studio, and I will have clips up as soon as I can.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So, yes, Skylar's video from the camera on a stick. That's what Jay calls it. It's literally a camera on like a selfie stick. I am going to go to that. I've really got to find a better way of figuring out this screen share. I'm going to have to reach out to some people and figure this out. All right, let me crop this again real quick. Skylar Davis. There we go. Let's get ready. So we'll watch it twice. We'll watch it full speed and then half speed. The infamous Y. So let's see what he does here. This is stage 6.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Okay. I mean, it looks pretty much error-free. I mean, I don't know what his score is, but like a good smooth. It looked like he was a little careful coming in down here in the Y, which I don't blame him. So everybody was yesterday too. But if you remember yesterday, this is probably, I mean, obviously there's a lot of stages I haven't seen, so I don't know what condition they look like. This is the worst one I've seen, the carryover from yesterday. But let me just say this. Yesterday, this whole section of the right end of the stem of the Y here was completely underwater. A gentleman dropped his magazine right there yesterday and it was gone. It was underwater. So this is pretty similar. There was a little bit more water down there too. All right. So let's we've got it at half speed. Let's give it a shot.
Are you ready? Stand by.
2 on the tucks. Looks like he had a makeup there on the first target that he shot at. There were 3, and then he transitioned to 2. 1. Nice. Okay. No makeups there. 1 for 1 on the steal. He took 2 passes on the swinger, which I think is the conservative but safe bet. This is not a national championship, so that was a good run. Everything looked good. He had no makeups over here on this one. He only had the one makeup. So now what we need to do is, so we know that was stage 6. Let's go stage 6. And let's go carry optics. Boom. Look at that. Stage win for carry optics on stage 6. 22 alphas, 2 charlies, and a time of 20.30 seconds. That might also be, for carry optics, that might be the fastest run. Yeah, sure looks like it. All right. Well, let's do this then. Let's just go back because Skylar is now done. So let's go to carry optics and see how it shakes out. Look at that. Skylar improved his position up to 4th place, or I guess that's where he was at. Drew actually dropped because looks like Peter Woolard actually moved up. David Miller is ahead of him. So Drew is now at 6th, and Drew is done. So he's not shooting anymore. There are still 2 people shooting. Harrison Marcotte in 3rd and Peter Woolard, who is 1st right now. So that's where that stands. I don't think anything else is really. No, Tanner has won that, and Isaac McLaren is 2nd. So those 2 are that's already been determined. I guess there's a little bit of a chase going on for. Oh, I should be sharing my screen here. Let me do this. I'm sitting here using my cursor to point stuff out, and then I realize, oop, I'm not sharing my screen. So let me share the screen real quick. There we go. All right. You can see here, now you can see my cursor, that Samir Patel and Darren Byers are both still shooting, and they are in real-time score. There's a 15-point difference, but for points available, there's a 17-point difference there. Close enough that that's easily decided by a single stage. Open, we already know that's a foregone conclusion. Patches Reader will take 3rd. Looks like Josh Dawson's probably going to end up in 4th, and Chris Gelnett in 5th. That's your top 5. But let's go back to PCC because this is where the battle is taking place. It looks like right now there's a 26-point lead for Anthony over Mark, but it could be more, it could be less in the final standings. But Corey Messersmith has fought his way back up into 3rd. He had dropped down considerably with the first 2 stages he had, which were 11 and 12, which were not good. But he did better on stage 7. Stage 8 was okay, and stage 9 was better. So they have, looks like 1 stage to go, stage 10, for all the marbles. So let me go to stage 10 here. Let me do a query. Squad 304. So nobody has started shooting yet. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Looks like they're down to 8 people. So they'll move pretty quick. All right. Oh, it looks like we have more video uploaded. Maybe. Okay, so Jay uploaded a new stage that we haven't seen yet that involves doors. So let me change the screen. Right, here we go. Let's see. We'll let it play through and then we'll play it back in slow-mo.
Bye.
There you go. All right, so let's watch it now via slow-mo. Looks like a pretty solid run.
Bye.
All right, I'm going to pause it. I want to go back for a second because every time that one of his rounds impacted in here, it looked like a geyser. Holy cow. Crazy. So it looked like a pretty solid run. And it also looks like Jay has uploaded another one. Riley Fox on 10. All right. So this will be our first PCC run on 10. So let's see how this looks.
Bye.
Looked like a pretty good run. So there we go. We have quite the number of videos that Jay has uploaded, which is awesome, from his camera on a stick. So that means if Riley Fox has shot stage 10, they are there, and this is their final stage. Yes, Brandon Cromwell and Riley Fox have shot stage 10. Both of them did fairly well. No scored penalties. 19 alphas and 5 Charlies for Riley, and 20 alphas and 4 Charlies for Brandon. So we'll just have to wait for the videos to kind of trickle in. It takes a minute. Jay's got to record it, then he's got to upload it, and then I have to wait for it to finish processing, and then I can share it. Here we go. So that's where we stand right now. Those are the two that have completed their shooting. So it looks like pretty much everybody's going to be done by noon. I can't imagine it going much longer than that at the moment. Oh, it looks like he's saying he uploaded another one. Okay. So it's not done uploading, processing. So we'll wait for that. But maybe we can do this. Might have a score to check. Yep, sure do. Another PCC shooter, Tony Karnick. Here we go. Looks like it's ready to go. Just for the sake of saving time, I'm probably going to stop. Actually, you know what? Let me make sure. Okay, I need to. Okay, I need to. Now I can. All right, so here is Tony Karnick, PCC, B class. And away we go.
Stand by. Compared to like.
All right.
Stand by.
There we go. Trying to get off the screen. So there's another one uploading right now. It looks like it's Corey Messersmith. Once that's, you can see it right here. Once that's finished processing, then we will. The black triangle is for handicap shooters. Oh. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for telling me that. I had no idea. I didn't know what that was about. Very interesting. All right. So Corey's video is now done processing. So let's take a look. Corey had a great day yesterday. Had a rough start this morning, and is trying to battle his way back into the top 3, top 5. Here we go. Stage 10. Extra shot. Oh, high left on that first one on the other steel. So let's watch that again, but slower. He's very aggressive through the doors. So let's watch that again. Here we go. Corey Messersmith, stage 10, half speed. Extra shot on steel. Hits the spot perfectly. Ooh. There's that geyser. High left. Looks like it was right over the shoulder of that popper. But every time they hit that spot on that stage, right here, there is a geyser. I'm actually going to slow it down a little bit more so we can pause it. I want to see this. Oh, look at that. Goodness. That's some water, yo. That's funny. Wow. They have dug a hole there. So many people have impacted that same spot, engaging that target. So let's see if Tegan. All right, Tegan Richmond is loaded. Let's take a look and see how Tegan did on this one.
Bye.
Nice. Good job handling the steel. And she also had the geyser. Let's watch it back at half speed. It's interesting. She decided to take the far right target as she moved to the steel. 1 for 1 on the steel there, 1 for 1 on the steel later. Now watch this. Woo! There you go. Good run. Let me update the scores. Whoa, practice score just shut down on me. Practice score competitor app just literally, I hit refresh and it shut down. Uh-oh. Okay. Apple giving me a notification that practice score competitor app shut down unexpectedly. All right, so let me wait for this to pop up. There it is. All right, stage 10. And let me go to squad 304. Okay. Tegan had a nice run. Corey Shield has completed stage 10. I'm just waiting to see. I'm not seeing the video. It's right here. It's still processing. There we go. Corey Shield has completed the stage. Corey Messersmith. We still have Anthony Zabonik, Mark Schulte. So should be coming up, actually. Mark should be next. Well, actually, David Richmond, and then Mark and Anthony. I don't know if Matthew Zellers is shooting. I don't know if I've seen the name today. All right, let's check out Corey Shield.
Are you ready? Stand by. Not back yet. Dive in and get set on that piece.
Nice run. Now, before we watch this back in slow-mo, he is 7th overall on this stage, so he's had the best run thus far. Corey Messersmith is 9th. But Corey Shield had 21 alphas, 3 Charlies, and a time of 22.32 seconds for a hit factor of 5.1075. So let's watch it back in slower speed, half speed.
Are you ready? Stand by. Not back yet.
He did something similar to Tegan. Managed the steal well. There we go. And we'll wait. Mark Schulte should be on deck. All right, so we'll just wait for now. Let me see. Interesting. Mark has not shot yet. Not sure what the holdup is. They were moving along pretty quickly there. Maybe they had a malfunction on the stage, some of the props. The nice thing is today, the weather is doable, unlike yesterday where it was just atrocious. Like Jay said, it sprinkled a little bit earlier, but that's all they've had today. So I will say it looks like if you're not shooting CO or limited or LO, CO or LO in USPSA, I feel like you're on the outside looking in. Those two are dominating all of the competition, meaning 60 to 70%, depending on the match, 60 to 70% of all the competitors are in one of those two divisions. And optics are 90, 92% of all competition. So I don't know how long. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the future there's just an iron sight division and that's it. Looks like Jay's uploading something, so maybe Mark shot because something is right there. I'm guessing it's Mark Schulte's stage 10 run. Yep, he just texted Schulte, and there's only 2 left. All right, looks like it is uploaded. And just to give you guys an idea of what the operation looks like, I don't know why that's doing that, but interesting. Okay, there we go. Here's a different view. You can see the setup that I've got multiple screens, camera. You've got 1, 2, 3, iPad, phone. I've got multiple screens going on here. Lots going on to manage what I do. We don't need that on, so let's cut that. There we go. All right. So let's watch the Mark Schulte video.
Are you ready? Stand by.
And then they rattled the entire way home.
Very aggressive run. Multiple extra shots on that first array of steel that he came into. So let's watch that one again. But we'll do it at half speed.
Are you ready? Stand by.
And then they rattle the entire way home.
Quick through the door. Engages the paper. Paper. Moves left. Now what? 2, 3. So he fired 3 at the steel on the left. They looked like they were going over the upper left shoulder as you're looking at it. Engage the geyser. There you go. So let's do a quick refresh of competitor app here and see how he did on that. Oh, looky there. 3rd overall now on this stage. So he did very well. Very, very well. Do we have? We do. We have Anthony Zabonic. Now him and Mark Schulte have kind of been battling it out.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Anthony Zabonic, stage 10.
You're running your road. I'm running back.
They're pushing each other.
Quite good, yeah. When I had
Extra shot. Quick on the steel. Woo-wee. So I know the results of this. Oh goodness. They had the exact same hits, 20 alphas and 4 Charlies for both Anthony and Mark. But Mark was about 0.7 of a second faster. So Mark is 3rd on this stage overall and 10th for Anthony. So that brings up the question. Let me hit refresh because their match is over. So overall, Anthony edges out Mark Schulte by 17 points to take first PCC at the Buckeye Blast, with Mark Schulte taking silver, Corey Messersmith taking bronze, Corey Shield. I can't remember what 4th and 5th are, but 4th is Corey Shield, 5th is Riley Fox, and Ike Starnes from Area 6 from North Kakalaki is 6th, followed by Teagan Richmond. Very good showing for Teagan. Good job. So those are your final standings for PCC because everybody in the top 11 is already completed. Now, what I do believe, though, looks like that is. We already saw Karnik, Zabonic. After Schulte, there was 2 left. Oh, it would. Well, who would have been? I don't know who. Oh, Riley Fox. Riley Fox would be the last one. So I think that's all we're waiting on is to see the video for Riley Fox. Everybody else has completed it. So just a real quick, you can see the control center as I look at it. And it's guarded by a 155-pound Great Dane. So he likes to come and hang out and sleep while I do this stuff. So there you go. Just a quick. Now you know what it's like at the Casual Shooters Podcast. I'll go ahead and remove that from the scene. There we go. All right, so all we're waiting on is, and it's up. So let's take a look at Riley Fox's run. Before I do that, I want to pull up stage 10 again. Okay, I don't have to go anywhere else. I'm already there. All right, good. Where'd you go, Riley? There you are. All right, here we go. Riley Fox, stage 10.
I've been shooting at it this like everywhere. I really like it.
Extra shot on steel, I think.
3-hour drive. But they do it Friday, Saturday.
Bunch extra shots on that last piece of steel. All right, so let's watch it back at half speed.
Stand by.
I've been shooting at it this like
Put through the door. Now, interesting here, he did it a little bit different. Most of them coming through the door have been engaging the paper on the left, then this paper, and start to move there, and then engage this as they move over to hit the steel. Whereas he engaged that. So he transitioned left, then back right, then back left again. So just a different plan. Let's see if he activates the
3-hour
geyser. Oh, yeah. Geyser's engaged. Oop, not quite in position for the other paper.
But they do it Friday, Saturday.
Everybody seems to be shooting that one high left over that left shoulder. And there you go. Those are all the videos. Looks like I have Jay back. So let me bring him in. There you are, Jay.
Hey.
You're
So
in
I'm
the
actually,
studio.
well, in the studio on the stream. I'm actually still out on stage 10. I put my big tripod up on top of my car, and even though my gear is still inside at Red Feather, I apparently have enough signal to get on and talk to you as we now, I guess, get down toward the end of this match.
Yeah, I mean, the PCC heavy hitters are done. Have you seen the scores?
I have not yet. I understand I was talking with Mark Schulte on the stage, and it was very close. It does look like it came out in the end extraordinarily close. Well, I
Yeah.
do not have full scores yet.
About 16.4 points difference between 1 and 2.
So my scores phone is off Wi-Fi, and my other phone is currently serving as a camera. So how did it turn out in PC?
So in PCC, it was Anthony Zabonik 1, Mark Schulte 2. Corey Messersmith fought his way back.
Oop.
Corey Messersmith fought his way back, and he's third. Corey Shield 4th, and Riley Fox 5th.
It's really an exceptional day, I'd say, from Corey with the iron sights. Although that might have played to his advantage somewhat in the rain.
Yeah, yesterday. It may have actually.
Yep.
May have actually helped him.
It's kind of a funny thought. You know, it's the rare case where iron sights have a bit of an edge when when the weather is that nasty.
That poor. Yeah, agree. Yeah. If it's anything other than rain, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
If it's anything other than rain, I don't think it's that big a deal. But rain is the big deal.
For sure.
Like, I don't even think sand would matter. Like a sandstorm at SUPs like they had at Nationals, what was it, 2018, I think it was. So, I saw everybody trying to hide their optics and stuff, but I even
Yep.
think there it's not that bad. It's just that the problem there is just everybody's going to have a problem because it's sand in your gun. That's the problem. All right, so Jay,
Yeah,
what are your
looking.
thoughts overall?
I think with the competition here on the last day turned out to be pretty close. You know, we saw a lot of. Well, obviously, we saw PCC decided over these last two stages. If you recall, Mark was in first place by a nose with two stages to go.
Yeah.
So that lead's been trading back and forth all weekend, and in the end, it looks like Zabonic managed to pull it out, and that's great to see. You know, it's funny that one of the first things that we had go really big on Practical Shooting Live was a shot of Anthony Zabonic falling down on a stage at Western PA, which feels a little bad to for that to be the thing that we had go almost viral that time. But
Mm.
to be here to be watch him put down the victory and take home that PC win, it's good to see that for him for sure. Mark, I think, probably feels like he left a little bit on the table. He on stage, I believe he was sitting in the win when last we spoke, when last he looked, and even that he said I could have done better. So it's clearly maybe a match he feels that he could have taken the win himself with a little bit more effort.
Well, and yesterday in the rain, Corey Messersmith knocked it out of the ballpark and then stumbled the first two stages coming out and lost like 55 points to Mark in the first two stages alone and ended up
Wow.
having to fight back to get to third.
Yeah, so I did hear that from Brandon Cromwell, another guy on the squad, apparently also a very good IDPA competitor, distinguished master. Somebody said. So in IDPA, of course, within a couple percent of a national champion.
Okay.
So coming out here for USPSA, shooting for Nighthawk system, according to from him. A couple of hiccups, I'm told. So he was one of the handful of people in the PCC squad I did not get video of on stage 6, and sadly there was I think a moment of comedy, I was told, where he noticed that he had I've forgotten a target. Maybe it was taking a makeup shot or something. But regardless, he took a shot from literally as far from the shooting areas as you could be in between the tips of the Y, because in IDPA that turns a down 10 into a down 5, I think a failure to neutralize into a foot fault, and it's kind of the penalty in USPSA. But so his IDPA instincts kicking in there and making for what would have been some really hilarious footage of a competitor leaving the shooting area, looking at a target, and then just stopping in the middle and bam at a target from way outside the fault lines.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. So I was told that Mark Schulte told me about that. I was like, man, I wish I'd gotten that. I was here for PCC. I said, I wish I'd known.
Wow, that's hilarious. Yeah, and knowing the context, when you're watching it live, you'd be like, "What did I just witness?" and then,
Right,
and then you
exactly,
get
yeah.
the
So I wouldn't have put
context
that
of it, and you're
together.
like, "That's hilarious." Did you upload another video? Because it looks like something's processing.
I think so. Yeah, there should be. Well, who all did you get, I suppose, is the question.
I played everybody that you sent from the PCC squad, so I don't know what this last video is that showing at 11:55. Huh? I don't know.
Did you get Matthew Zellers? One of the
No.
two or three handgun, one of the two handgun guys on the squad, I think, also along with Brandon Cromwell.
Nope. So maybe that's it. Yep.
Well,
Yeah, I guess it's finished processing. Or at least I can watch it. Oh, it didn't get renamed. That's what it was.
yeah.
You know what? Let me just rename it Zellers 10 and then we'll know. There we go. And save. Boom. There we go. All right. Lots of video footage. Can make some more combination videos with multiple people. On stage 10 there, when they came up to that second door, you had the targets on the left. You had the stacked targets before the door and then the single target after the door. And some of them were hitting in the same spot as everybody else, which had created a big hole full of water. And it looked like a
Ah, yes.
geyser.
Oh, when people hit it.
Yeah. All right. So
Well,
give me your thoughts on the match as a competitor since you actually shot the match.
I thought it was an interesting one. I shot it, of course, in better weather than a lot of the other folks did. So my perceptions may be colored by that. I thought it was interesting. It was, like I said on the first day of our streams, it was an extremely positional match. There were a lot of places where you had to hit a very tight mark on the ground or a tight arrangement of walls in the distance to get you into the spot you wanted to be to hit the targets you needed to from a spot. So that, and then also throttle control. There were a lot of places where you would come immediately off of a very fast section and then find a bunch of I suppose what some people call control targets, right? Stuff that you'll need to take a little bit more care and attention for. So those I think still those ring true as the two themes of the match for me. Very much one where patience is rewarded, but not at the expense of aggression where it's warranted.
Right. It's funny because when I was playing the stage 10 videos, I don't know if you noticed it, Jay. You may, and I say that because you're busy doing stuff. So you don't, even when you're recording with the camera on the stick, you're still paying attention to what you're doing. And I don't know if you noticed, but there was definitely a change in the aggression level of everybody on stage 10. It was like everybody knew it was their last stage. It was their last
Oh
opportunity
yes,
to get as many points, highest hit factor they can get. And it played out that way.
for sure. It was definitely. I think on certainly here on 10, we saw a couple of the PCC guys take an approach that calculated to get them into a place where they could make that maybe winning moves. So if you come into a final stage and you know where you are and you're the kind of person who'd rather finish first or I don't know fifth than say second, then I think changing your tactics going in is maybe a reasonable thing to do.
Well, especially between Mark and Anthony, they're so close in score. If you let up,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
other person could take a risk, hit a home run, and now you just drop from first to second. So
Yep.
it's like you've got
I
to
think one of the
maintain
things.
that aggression.
Yeah. One of the things I think I'm learning after a couple of days of running this is that I need to make sure that I might need to do like some manual frequency control on the drone and the transmission mast, so they're not necessarily trying to be on the same band. I
Ah,
noticed that
okay.
audio comes through typically over the video system much more clearly when the drone is off, and I think there's probably some interference reasons for that to be happening.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it is. It's been a very interesting match, I think, from a technical perspective for us too. We learned a lot. I think we obviously we've done something that has not yet been done before with certainly with
Yeah.
our very live segments.
And I'm not aware of any shooting match that has had live drone coverage.
Yeah, I think this would be a first. Even
Yeah.
even something only rising to the level of live commentated footage at all. I know we've Nationals has had has had live stuff. I believe a couple of people back in the day did kind of a commentary stream on top of the Nationals live footage. But yeah, I mean, it could be because it's an awful lot of work. Maybe that's why nobody else has tried it before.
Yeah, but I mean, look,
Yeah.
we are showing that not only is it possible, but take away the bad weather. You have Friday,
Hmm.
you have Sunday, very doable. The video quality, very good. You can tell that Corey has been working on that network because it's way
Yeah.
better than it was just last August when we were there for Area 5.
So I will say some of that might be down to speed because I'll have to look at the logs for that when I get back to the back to Red Feather. It's basically a VPN that does kind of software channel bonding for the
Right.
nerds among you who followed that sentence. Essentially, what it means is I can connect to the Wi-Fi here at the range. I can plug in say a cell phone to add a 5G connection, and the software handles mixing those together and
To get the
and
strongest
giving
signal.
yeah, right, to get the strongest signal to cover dips in one with the other, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we've shown that it's doable. And I mean, if you're in a place that has good, again, so let's take Cardinal. Let's say that repeater down by stage 6 is working well. I feel like using Speedify or not, you put up maybe 3 or 4 live cameras on that end of in zone 1. You've got a drone elsewhere. Now you've got multiple things that you can show. You can, again, like I was doing before, you can switch to different cameras and show live feed
Hmm.
and discuss it. So the possibilities are endless. It just, how much of a budget do you have to solidify the hardware,
Yep. Oh, hey, it's
Uh-oh.
Schulte.
Thanks everybody for all your hard work. We really appreciate it. Jay, you do awesome job covering everything.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Sasquatch himself.
Yeah. Match sponsor. I don't recall if this was his stage or if it was right around here, but yeah. Mark's a good guy. Friend of the show, we'll call him.
Yes, he is. Absolutely. Good sense of humor.
Right,
And
well,
another smart guy.
that's also for sure. Well, I see all the staff abandoning this range, and I don't want to. I don't want to end up sans barbecue lunch. So I think I'm going to pack up and head back.
All right, Jay.
Probably get my things packed up, maybe a couple of Instagram videos up before I hit the road, and I guess until the next time we do this, this has been Practical Shooting Live.
Absolutely. Thanks to everybody who watched, and you can catch the reruns on Rumble. Have a safe trip back, Jay.
Thank you.